here we are again, Cameron's Britain, so what can I say?
Cameron, out, out, out! Cameron, out! Cameron, out! Cameron, out!
Erdington's one of the poorest constituencies in Britain, with very high youth unemployment. The Connections office behind me has for 20 years given outstanding service to the young people of Erdington. It's been a lifeline for them, helping them back into work or to training. At the worst possible time, when there are thousands of young people who face a bleak new year, it's absolutely wrong that the Connections office is being closed.
No ifs, no buts, say no to Connections cuts. No ifs, no buts, say no to Connections cuts.
We're really sad at the news that Erdington Connections office is closing down, and we're very worried really about where the young people who use this office are going to go to after here. Connections is an advice and support service for young people, and we help them with whatever issues they come into the office with, and it's about careers advice and guidance from the ages of 13 to 19, and we go up to 24 if they've got learning difficulties and disabilities. We help young people with all sorts of issues, from looking for work, educational training, as well as benefits, housing, sexual health, whatever their issues are, we're there to support them and direct them in the best way. We're really worried about the closure of the office because this office is used really well for the young people of the North area, and we're worried about the impact this closure is going to have on those young people who now will be expected to travel all the way to Broad Street, and some of them are going to struggle with that because of the financial implications of simply travelling to Broad Street. I'm glad to say though our local managers have done some fantastic work in setting up some local outreach centres for us to continue the work that we do in this local area, and we've actually got leaflets being printed as we speak, really, that are being sent out to all the young people in the north area of the city, so that they know that they can still access connection support locally in the Erdington area.
Today I've come down to join all the guys and girls from the Connection service in Erdington who are facing losing their building and potentially some of the services for young people in Erdington. The reason I'm supporting them so much is because Connections is vital to the future of all the young people of Erdington and Birmingham. Without them, the gap between those well off and those least well off is only going to get bigger, because those kids who fall out of school at 16 with no options aren't going to have any services to advise them, as well as all the career service work they do in the schools. If this centre closes down and we lose the advisors, we're facing a whole new generation of kids who are just going to be thrown on the scrap heap. Although the council will tell you that they can go to Broad Street to access the service, the reality is unless it's there in their community, most kids are not going to want to access it because they've got confidence issues in the first place. So it's really vital that we all get behind Connections and try and save whatever services we can for the young people and the future of Erdington.
Sack the bankers, no Connections, can we do it? Yes we can! Sack the bankers, no Connections, can we do it? Yes we can!
My name is Mark McKenzie, local Labour campaigner. I'm here today to support Connections. It's a very, very good youth service, and without it, our youths are going to be, without a good service.
I've met some of the young people locally who really value the service given by Connections. I remember in particular one young man who said, "I left school, my life collapsed, my confidence had gone. The Connection staff rebuilt me, helped me back into a job." And he was waxing lyrical, not just about the job that he was now doing, because it gave him dignity and self-worth, but he was also waxing lyrical about the people in that office behind me who, just when he needed their help, they were there to raise him up.
My name's John Griffin. I'm the Unison convener for Connections in Birmingham. Yeah, and I'm really here to protest about the closure of the last Connection Centre in North Birmingham today. It's also a time when we're taking a ballot on industrial action to try and put a halt to the compulsory redundancies that we're facing. We think it's a scandal that at a time when young people are facing their biggest difficulties getting into work and education, the government is cutting the very service that is here to help them. If we want to get out of the recession, we need to be supporting young people and helping them, not throwing them on the scrap heap. So we need to keep a service like this. What's particularly outrageous is the government has announced an all-age careers service, but has not put funding behind it to prevent careers advisors being sacked, and that's exactly what's happening now. This doesn't have to happen. The government could properly fund an all-age careers service, which they've said they're going to do but haven't put the funding in, and that would put a stop to these compulsory redundancies, and that's what needs to happen now. And Birmingham City Council needs to give more time to put an end to these compulsory redundancies.
Connections offices are closing down in this Christmas season. Why oh why has this occurred? There is no rhyme or reason. Where will all the young folk go to look for jobs or training? They'll have to trek to Broad Street now, always cold and raining. The council let out budget cuts have caused these tragic closures. Why oh why must this be? For all the help we give to thee, save our jobs and bail us out. In return there'll be no doubt. Say connections, don't hesitate. All young people will lose us. All young people right up there in need of help and guidance. That's where our advisors are. If the council keeps us.
My name's Heather Bryson. I was a teacher at Josiah Mason College and Sutton Coldfield College, which used to run the GCSE Resit programme, which was a last chance for kids who hadn't done very well in their GCSEs to get a second chance. Now when it didn't work for us and we had nowhere else to turn and we actually would lose a student even through mentoring, we would always turn to Connections, which was really their last chance so that they wouldn't be unemployed or end up in a dead-end job or on benefits straight away. And Connections was really a lifeline. I think it's absolutely disgusting that you're going to be closing Connections, which is really a lifeline for all these kids. It's not going to save the country any money in the long run because there's going to be more people on benefits.
That's fraudulent.
And that was really upsetting and quite distressing, really.
No buts. Say no to Connections cuts.
This is to mark 20 years of service by outstanding public servants who supported the young people of this area, given them a lifeline for the future, helped them into jobs and training. It's absolutely wrong this office is being closed, but we want to mark your contribution to this community. Well done.
Thank you. We are honoured to receive this, and we're still going to keep in touch with everyone, even though the office is closing.
It's a bitter irony that it's public servants and the general public who are paying the price for the misdeeds of the bankers. It wasn't the people of Erdington, it wasn't the staff in Connections that caused the economic crisis. It was greed in the city of London. And what I intend to do is to stand up for people in this area. As we rebuild our country and our economy, those who caused the crisis, those with the broadest shoulders, should bear the burden. We need to build a mass movement across Birmingham, across the country, bringing together the public, public servants, those in the public sector workers, also workers in the private sector as well. Because what's clear is 140,000 are going to go in local government alone next year, and for every one job lost in local government there's going to be one job lost in the private sector, and also there's going to be tens of thousands who go in the voluntary sector, including many of the projects here in Erdington that will be closed down as the council or the government cuts back. So what we need is a united response saying we're not going to have it, we're not going to have it, we're not going to have our communities, our economy wrecked as a consequence of the misdeeds of the bankers.